right, guys, and welcome to another edition of Just a Couple Guys talking football with you. Just one guy today. Tate will not be joining us. He has to deal with a family emergency in Grand Junction. So you got a solo PG today for the P's with PJ and Tate. So we'll just be like the old times where, if you will, P's with PJ just today. Listen, we didn't get a chance to do a recap show either for Week 5, which there was just a lot of great action in that game. I'm going to give you a couple quick hits from each game. Just a quick thought, each game, and then we're going to roll right into our picks for Week 6. So, starting with San Francisco versus LA. San Francisco ended up winning 26-23. Listen, I just wonder if Kyle Shanahan would have went with his original plan years ago and taken Mac Jones, number 3 overall, where that team could be. I really wonder. Because I think Mac Jones is, if you will, a great quarterback for Kyle Shanahan. He runs the system. He pushes the ball down the field. Pushes the ball down the field a little bit better than Brock Purdy from time to time. I don't know if there's a quarterback controversy there, but what if, Kyle, you wouldn't have gotten so in love with Trey Lance, and I get it, athleticism, all this stuff. But man, if you just would have went with Mac Jones, where could have your team been? I really am curious. Minnesota, Cleveland. Listen, Cleveland switched to Dylan Gabriel and jettisoned Joe Flacco this week to Cincinnati. Really interesting fact there. Cleveland, it's about time that you went for your younger quarterbacks. Gabriel didn't look bad. A couple touchdowns. I mean, it's going to be a learning curve. Big time. They've got a big test coming up against Pittsburgh. Minnesota, just keep toeing the line. Carson Wentz seems to be doing just fine for you. A little troublesome about that defense from time to time, Brian Flores, but we'll see what happens. Indianapolis rolling. Las Vegas, totally in shambles. Geno might be benched soon. Listen, Indy's the real deal. They're 4-1. They're playing some ball. Daniel Jones looks good. Shane Steichen's got this team rolling. And let me just tell you, Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator for the Colts, is laughing his butt off right now because Cincinnati jettisoned him because he was a problem with their defense. It doesn't seem like he's a problem with the defense at all. Denver beating Philadelphia. Great game. Great late call by Sean Payton to go for 2 to take the lead. I love it. Denver's starting to believe. If Bo Nix can just calm down a little bit from time to time, he definitely runs around like he's in a hurry all the time. Hurry. But listen, great game. Philly was due for a loss, by the way, guys. And I'm not taking anything away from Denver, but let's just be honest. Philly was riding dangerously, and Denver caught him and beat him for it. Denver defense, definitely for real. Oh, the New Orleans Saints and beating on the Giants. I called that one. New Orleans was bound to win sometime. New Orleans has been putting up some points, and their defense is playing a little pesky. Listen, Giants, yes, you've got your future in Jackson Dart. It is going to be a roller coaster ride from here on out, especially starting with tonight. Houston beating up on Baltimore. Baltimore, as my Super Bowl pick, is probably on a 1% kind of lifeline right now. Baltimore's in big trouble, guys. Big trouble. I don't know what else to say other than they are just, their defense is bad. And here's the point. I know that they're injured and everything, but what is going on there, Baltimore? The coaching staff hasn't changed over that much. I know you have injuries, but this is just kind of crazy to me. What is going on in Baltimore? You're giving up 40-plus points at least 3 or 4 times this year. It's troublesome. Houston definitely looked good. Baltimore, this might not be your year. Dallas coming alive against the Jets. Listen, Dallas might be figuring some stuff out here. They might. Brian Schottenheimer seems like he's kind of righted the ship a little bit there in Dallas. Be interesting to see what happens. Eberflus definitely looked like he had the book out on Justin Fields and took care of business. He knew what he could do and what he couldn't do, and he took care of business there. Miami losing to Carolina. I mean, yawn. Who cares? I mean, other than me, I picked Miami. Miami, you're giving away games, and that's not going to help anybody on that coaching staff keep their job. Tennessee beating Arizona. Arizona, you have just now surprised everybody by finding the craziest ways to lose games. DeMarcado runs a 75-yard touchdown, drops the ball right before the goal line. And let me just state, this happened 2 weeks ago with Adonai Mitchell in the Colts, and I didn't really touch on it. because I figured it was a fluke. Hopefully everybody watches it. They don't see it again. If I'm a running back or wide receiver, hold on to the ball until you get through the back of the end zone. Then you can let it go. Run all the way through. Hit the wall, touch a fan's hand, then drop the ball. That's your new line of demarcation. Run through the end zone all the way, touch the wall, touch a fan's hand, then you can drop the ball. That's what I would say if I was a coach. Because it is ridiculous to be dropping that ball. Now, it happens so fast. I get it. They're running so fast that they think that they're over the line. That's the problem. They can't tell where they're at. But we have all these camera angles that can. Pretty crazy stuff. And then the fumble interception that got scored as a touchdown. I mean, Tennessee, there's your win. Because I don't know how many more you're going to be buying. Because you were... I mean, if DeMarcado scores that touchdown, it's 28-6. And I think Tennessee just gets rolled. But, hey, amazing what can happen. It's any given Sunday. Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield beating up on Seattle with a phenomenal game from Sam Darnold and from Baker Mayfield. That was fun. 38-35. Lots of fun to watch. I think Baker right now I think he's in the leader house for the MVP. And I just quoted Chris Sims with the leader house. Sorry, a little tough to do that from time to time, but there you go, Chris. Tampa Bay, Baker's in the lead for the MVP, in my opinion. And he's playing amazing. I mean, I think all 4 of their wins have come in the last minute, too. Very crazy. Detroit beating up on Cincy. We saw this coming. Cincy then, went on and traded for Joe Flacco. I mean, the score was 37-24. But was it ever really that close? No. Detroit took their foot off the pedal. Washington beating Los Angeles Chargers 27-10. Jaden Daniels back, so that's definitely one of the first factors that I think is a big part of this game. The other factor is the Chargers are starting to charger. And that means that they're just playing subpar again. And Justin Herbert looks like he doesn't know what to do again. And yes, I know that they have injuries at the left tackle. They lost Rashawn Slater, then they lost Joe Alt. Listen, your defense should be taking care of some of this too. Their defense is pretty dang good. You've got some, I know they just lost Amarian Hampton as a running back. They lost Najee Harris, but man, come on, Chargers. You had a lot more going for you earlier in this year. New England beating Buffalo. I thought New England would cover. I did not think they would beat Buffalo. Drake May played the game of his life. Stephon Diggs, actually. Let me take that back. Stephon Diggs played the game of his life. He came out on a mission to beat Buffalo. I even saw one meme that said, if Stephon Diggs played like that in Buffalo, they would have had a Lombardi already. And it might be true. Drake May did play a really good game. I don't know. I mean, it's a game of his young life, I'll say. He made some plays. Stephon Diggs definitely made some plays and had a mission in mind. Buffalo, you need to find a little bit of that mission. Because it seems like you're just kind of going through the motions. And I'm wondering where the drive's going to be for Buffalo, minus Josh Allen. We know what Josh Allen can do. Who's going to be the next person to step up on that team? Kansas City losing to Jacksonville on Monday night with the stumble touchdown. Stumbleitis. Trevor Lawrence fell over. No one touched him, and he ran in for a touchdown to make that game a winner for Jacksonville. Listen, Jacksonville's playing their hearts out right now. I'm not taking anything away from them. Kansas City teetering here on my belief in them. A couple weeks ago, I was out. Then they beat Baltimore. And I started to listen. Okay, maybe they're back. Looking at how Baltimore's playing, pardon me, I don't know if Kansas City's back yet. Because Baltimore seems like they're just done this year. Kansas City, let's see what you do against Detroit this week. Speaking of this week, let's get into the P's with PJ. Now, last week, Tate on the money line went 4-10. I went 5-9. Against the spread, we were both 7-7. Over under, Tate was 7-7 and I was 10-4. So we're trending in the right direction. This is about the time of the year that everything you start to figure out who teams are, what offenses are, what defenses are, what teams can do. So year to date, money line, I'm 49-28-1. Against the spread, I'm 37-41. And over under, I'm dead even 39-39. Let's get to this week's picks. All right, starting tonight, we got the Philadelphia Eagles visiting the New York Giants. Listen, Eagles are going to come out and play in this game. I really do. I really think so. Losing last week to Denver left a bad taste in their mouth, and they could have had a little bit better showing on offense. There was a private meeting in between A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, and Saquon Barkley supposedly on Monday. I think that they're going to try to get this offense on the right page. Giants, as well as you've been playing, I know it's a division game. I don't like this one for you. I'm taking Philly. I'm taking Philly -7, and I'll take the over of 40.5, just because I think that the Eagles are going to put up 27 to 30 points by themselves, and I could see the Giants putting up about 17 points, something like that. Definitely a touchdown in garbage time, because the Eagles defense, so get ready. I think it's going to be a good game. Now, let's go on to Sunday. We got a game in London. Denver Broncos visiting the New York Jets. New York Jets are 0-5. They don't have a takeaway yet. That's crazy to me. They've got a pretty good defense. Sauce Gardner's on that team. They've got some defensive pieces. No takeaway. Maybe they get one here against Denver. Maybe Bo gets a little loose with the ball. Here's the key to this game. Not the New York Jets defense, the Denver defense. I think they're going to suffocate the Jets. I really do. I mean, they're going to fly overseas just to get pummeled by the Denver Broncos. Listen, Denver -7.5 is high, but I didn't think it. I actually thought it was low for this game. I know Denver is technically the away team, if you can, with air quotes, but Denver -7.5, yeah, and give me over 43.5. I like Denver's offense. They're starting to run the ball with Dobbins. Thank goodness. Do it. Troy Franklin's starting to come on up. Evan Ingram got involved in the game plan last week. This is what Denver needs to do. Utilize all the pieces on your offense. Get Bo moving, just like Drew Brees did, where he's hitting everybody. You got the running game going. You're going to be going. Denver big in this game. Arizona visiting Indianapolis. Listen, Jonathan Gannon got fined for his freak out on DeMarcado last week. The aforementioned DeMarcado fumble before the goal line. He got fined $100,000, I think, from his team. He's in danger of losing his job here soon, because that I think if they get pummeled by Indianapolis, it could get bad. It could get bad real quick for Arizona. And I was a slight believer in them early this year, but not anymore. Give me Indy -7, and give me under 46.5. I think Indy's defense is going to come to play, and Arizona's offense just isn't really there. You know, I think they're running Michael Carter now on the running back side. Their defense was playing decent, but they just have too many question marks. Indy all day long in this one. Dallas versus Carolina. Here I am. I'm going to start drinking the Dallas Kool-Aid. Dallas -3. Give me under 49.5. Listen, Carolina came back and had a great game against Miami. Dallas likes to put up points, and I think that their defense is starting to kind of figure out what Eberflus likes to do, which is shocking to say. I'm not a big Eberflus believer, but defensively, he can kind of come up with some decent schemes from time to time. Dallas in this one, guys, but under 49.5. I think that Carolina's not going to put him very many points. Los Angeles Chargers versus the Miami Dolphins. This game was so hard to pick. On one hand, I can see that the Chargers need to have a win, and they need to do this, and they need to right the ship and get right back into the mix in the AFC. On the other hand, they're traveling to Miami all the way across country and playing at a time slot that they don't like to play in. Listen, I'm going to be a wuss on this one. I'm going to take the Chargers to win, but I'm going to take Miami to cover the 4.5. Because I don't believe in either one of these. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know what's going to happen in this game. I'm taking the under of 44.5. It could be a 17-13 game. This could be a low-scoring individual game because maybe Chargers defense shows up, but Chargers offense doesn't. I don't know. It's a tough one to pick. If I have any advice for this game, stay away. Stay away if you have to. Cleveland versus Pittsburgh. Listen, I like the way that the Cleveland offense is going. They jettisoned Flacco, as we said. They're going with Gabriel. They're not committing to Shadur Sanders as the number 2 quarterback, even though he probably should be. But other than when he's miming at a press conference. Listen, I like Pittsburgh to win this game, but it's a division game. I'm going to take Cleveland to cover the 5.5. I think they'll lose by like 3 or 4. 5.5 might be a little strong. I'll take the over 37.5 too. Pittsburgh likes to put up some points now. This is a different Pittsburgh team. And I think Cleveland's defense is good, but I think you're going to see a hard-fought game in this one, especially for a low total of 37.5. All right, Los Angeles Rams visiting the Baltimore Ravens. Man, this would have been like a game of the week if you asked me at the beginning of the year. You would have been like, man, Rams and Ravens, holy cow. Not anymore. Rams are favored by 7.5 points, and they're traveling all the way to Baltimore. Talk about another team playing in a time slot that they don't necessarily like. Rams do better about it than the Chargers. I'll take the Rams, guys. I'll take the Rams minus the 7.5, and I'll get over 44.5. And I'll get over 44.5 because that's what the Rams might do. I think the opponents averaging against Baltimore is over 44.5. So it's going to be interesting. All right, next up, New England visiting New Orleans. Both sides of this is a trap game in my mind. Both sides. New England, emotional win, coming and beating Buffalo, traveling on the road to New Orleans, emotional win, coming back and beating the Giants. Got the win out of the way. Listen, I like New England, but there's a little bit more growth process with this because, is Stephon Diggs going to be the same Stephon Diggs that he was last week? The running backs for the Patriots do like to fumble the ball quite a bit. Listen, I'll take New England to win, but I'm going to take New Orleans to cover. Another little sneaky sideways thing. New Orleans plus 3.5. They could lose by a field goal then. But I'll take the under 45.5 as well. Listen, I don't know which way this game's going to go. I think New England should win. On paper, they should win. Something tells me New Orleans is playing a little pesky. They're just playing a little pesky, and I'd watch out for that. All right, Seattle versus Jacksonville. Another team traveling all the way across coast to coast. And yet another team that doesn't necessarily like to travel coast to coast. Listen, I think Seattle's playing good ball. I think Jacksonville's playing good ball. I think they're going to build off of this. Jacksonville, if I could make one statement that I didn't say about the last game. Stop using Travis Hunter on defense. Just stop. Stop using Travis Hunter on defense. Use him solely on offense. He is a talented individual. He made a couple plays in that Monday night game that you're like, wow, that was pretty good. Now just think if you had that the whole game and he's not tired from running all over the field on defense. I know that's what he wants to do. Tell him, Travis, we want to make you a star. Because guess what? Travis Hunter should be a star in this league. He won the Heisman. He came, what was he, second pick overall? He should be a star. He shouldn't have 2 or 3 receptions for 50 yards. He should have 6 receptions for 160 yards. Okay? The guy can make magic happen. Stop using him on defense. I know that's what he wants. That sounds all well and good. It's time for him to play offense just solely. I will take Jacksonville in this one. Jacksonville minus 1.5, and I'll take the under 47.5. Listen, Seattle traveling. I got to see it first. Seattle's a great team. I know I haven't necessarily been on their bandwagon yet, but I am going to jump on the Jacksonville bandwagon. Liam Cohen's got these guys going. They're 4-1. Let's see what happens. Tennessee versus Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas, I guess, minus 3.5, over 41.5. I don't know. Can anybody out there listening tell me what either one of these teams are? Titans won 1 game, which that's probably their 1 win of the year. That's it. There it went. It went. Las Vegas? Are you going to sit Geno? You might want to. You might want to give Pickett a shot. Geno's passing the ball all over the place to the other team. So, I don't have much else to say minus that. Cincinnati versus Green Bay. Joe Flacco has a chance to do something that very few players have done. And that is play the Green Bay Packers twice in a row, but for 2 different teams. And has a possibility to beat them with 2 different teams. Listen, as all well and good as that sounds, and Flacco will probably get the ball better to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins than Jake Browning. Green Bay, at home, is not going to lose to the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think. Crazier things have happened. But give me Green Bay. Now, the one thing I will say, though, 14 points is a lot of points. Green Bay is a really good team. I'm going to say that Joe Flacco and Cincinnati Bengals keep it closer than 14 points. So I'll take Cincinnati plus the 14, and I will take the under of 44.5. I know that this game screams that it should go over because Cincinnati's defense stinks. Something just tells me it's going to be a little closer. Green Bay will definitely win this game. San Francisco versus Tampa Bay, another team traveling coast to coast. I like what San Francisco's doing. I know that they're going to get healthier in this game. But I absolutely love what Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay is doing. Ibuka is playing out of his mind for a rookie. I mean, hands down, offensive rookie of the year right now, in my opinion. Tampa Bay, guys. Tampa Bay, -3, over 47.5. I'm drinking the Tampa Bay Kool-Aid, man. I'm a Baker fan. I'm a Baker fan big time right now. It is fun to watch. His resilience is fun. Todd Bowles knows how to get this team going. They're playing well. They've had some injuries, and they played through them. They have. Has anybody missed Mike Evans, by the way? No. Nobody's missed Mike Evans. Which is sad to say, because Mike's a great wide receiver, but they're not even thinking about it. All right, Sunday night game. Detroit versus Kansas City. Tough one. I would say if it was in Detroit, I'd be picking Detroit hands down. I was this close to picking Detroit too, because Detroit seems like they're the most solid team, most put together team right now. Kansas City at home, though. Kansas City at home is a different animal. I'll take Kansas City. I'll take Kansas City minus the 2.5. I'll take under 52.5. It's a lot of points. And I think these defenses are going to show up a little bit. So, yes, will there be some scoring? But seriously, it's going to probably be like 27-23. It'll get close to that point total, but it won't go over, in my opinion. And if Detroit wins this game, I wouldn't be shocked either, by the way. But I'm going to take Kansas City at home. Buffalo versus Atlanta on Monday night. Buffalo needs to kind of right the ship. Atlanta, coming off of a bye. They're at home, prime time. Michael Penix, give me Buffalo. Sorry. I think Atlanta will keep it tight or get close towards the end, because I'll take Atlanta plus the 4.5. Probably be a 3-point game. Buffalo likes to play with their food from time to time, especially them on defensively. If you see what they try to do, is they try to get super aggressive on first and second down, and then, kind of back off after that. And that might bite them, but we'll see. I will take the under 49.5 as well. Oh, look at this. Chicago versus Washington on Monday night. And it's a great Monday night because it happens to be someone that's very dear to the show's birthday. So, that's me. PJ's birthday on Monday. So I get to watch the Bears on my birthday. Love that. Listen, Bears owe Washington something in this game. And I know that the coaching staff has turned over, but the players haven't. And there's another factor on the coaching staff that I'm going to get to in a minute. These players owe something to Washington, because Bears had Washington beat last year. They did. For how great Washington was, the Bears had them beat. And then after that Hail Mary loss, Bears completely fell apart. That left a bad taste in the Bears players' mouth. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't even know any of the players, but I can tell you right now that none of them liked that taste in their mouth. That's factor one. Bears are remembering last year. Caleb's, I think, from the DC area. He wants to go in and take care of business too. He wants to prove that he's the number one pick, and that, this Jaden Daniels stuff, as well as it was last year, Caleb's the guy. The other side factor, coaching staff. A lot of the coaching staff has come from Detroit. What happened to Detroit in the playoffs? Oh, they lost to Washington. That's right. They lost to Washington. Their chances to go forward and get at least to the NFC Championship game were squashed by the Washington Commanders. Now, I will say this, in that game, the Washington Commanders versus the Detroit Lions, where Ben Johnson was the offensive coordinator, the problem in that game was not Detroit's offense. It was not. Detroit's offense had some points and put up some points in that game. The problem was Detroit's defense was so banged up they could not stop Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin. Well, I think that Ben Johnson and his coaching staff is going to remember the things that worked against Dan Quinn's defense. And I think that Dan Quinn's defense is giving up a lot of points in the air. And I think Chicago's air raid is going to come on in this game. I'm taking Chicago. Chicago plus the 4.5. Give me over 49.5 too. It's going to be an exciting game. I think. I think it will. But I'm gonna ride the Bears for victory because of those factors that I just said. Bears players remembering last year. Detroit's coaching staff remembering last year against Washington. Caleb returning to DC, wanting to get that win from where he's from. Give it to me all day, Chicago. That, my friends, would be my lock of the week if you want. If we even did locks of the week, but we don't. All right, folks. Quick show for you today for the Week 6 P's with PJ. Stay tuned. We're going to get Tate back from Grand Junction here soon. We're going to hear about all of his thoughts about the NFL because we need him on this show because it's not a couple guys if it's only one guy, right? Then it's just a guy talking football like we were last year. But other than that, thanks for joining us. But good luck this week in Week 6. I am out.